Welcome to this episode of PCHtv. I'm Emma Reckenberg.
And I'm Daniel Polinsky. This past week, you may have noticed a group of guys going around school wearing sashes.
No, they were not competing in a beauty pageant. These guys were representing a club by raising money for charity.
From Mr. FBLA to Mr. Choir, these guys have been going all out in spirit for a good cause.
The week leading up to a dance is always somewhat festive. We decided to ask some of the pageant members a little bit about what they're doing.
Mr. Baseball.
Hi, Mr. FBLA.
Mr. Track.
I'm Mr. Football.
I'm Mr. Yearbook.
Mr. Deca. As you can see, I'm Mr. Choir.
I'm Mr. Basketball. Miss Lacrosse.
It's going to be hard to compete with like the upperclassmen, but I think I can do it.
Well, I'm planning to go all out on Monday, which will be Nerd Day, and a little character or alter ego I like to play is Marvin, so yes, you will be seeing him on Monday.
I think an injury day. I was a cripple in my past life, so I think I can pull it off nicely.
I picked the World Wildlife Foundation because I love the environment.
I'm raising money for the Michael Jordan Foundation. It's a foundation that creates recreational centers and other centers for people that don't have that much money to play sports in that they couldn't normally play on the streets.
I am going to be playing a song with Justin, but it's a surprise, so I can't tell you.
I am performing a dance with Jack Schneider
Called Schneider Squared.
I'm not going to reveal any of the details because it's going to be pretty awesome. So.
My favorite part's been learning the dance because the dance is pretty funny and it's a funny group of guys.
The dressing up, I think it's just in good school spirit and it's fun, and you can just see how it brings people all closer, and it just makes everybody laugh.
You can tell these guys are really dedicated to helping others. They're willing to do some pretty unusual things for money. So Daniel, if you were in the pageant, what would your talent have been?
If I were in the pageant, I probably would have done the Fast Soldier Boy.
Well, that is pretty unusual.
Well, if you think that's unusual, wait till you hear about what some of the past jobs teachers have had.
Some of the teachers here have done some pretty unusual things in the past, from working at a Japanese steakhouse to living on an Indian reservation. Here are some of those jobs.
I was a whitewater rafting guide for a camp, a Boy Scout camp.
I used to work at a Japanese steakhouse in Springfield. The guys would be chopping up the food on the hibachi grill and everything.
I was a hostess at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, I was living in Mexico City. There was a movie that was going to be filmed. My brother got me an interview with the director of the movie.
I was in graduate school at UCLA. I went and lived with the Navajo for a full 2 years.
I worked at Six Flags in Chicago, and I was what they called a beverage lead. So my job was to make sure all the Coke machines in the picnic facility worked. And eventually I got to be a training supervisor in the foods department.
Now for the worst day they ever had, and I thought I had some bad days.
One day we had really high water. There was a log in the river and the raft came up to it and tipped all the way on the side, so all of the people fell out. I wasn't sure where the people were, if anybody was underwater, if everybody was okay. Everybody was fine for a few minutes. It was pretty scary.
There was a fire at one of the restaurants, and they really thought that it was an inside job.
Well, the guy who was supposed to be Chuck E. Cheese in the birthday parade called in sick, and they asked me to do it.
All of a sudden, one day my brother comes up to me and says, "Yeah, some guy took your part." And it was some person I know who he just drove up to Durango and said, "I'm here for the role in the movie." So I almost had it.
The post office used to have a picnic. 10,000 people in one day, and they loved fried chicken, and so I can remember having to bring fried chicken out to one of the pavilions, and people actually attacked me, and the chicken ended up on the ground.
I was coming back from, there was a ceremony. No electricity, pitch black dirt roads. I finally get out there. I'm freezing cold. So I got the firewood, I get back to the Hogan. I couldn't get a fire started that night. I gave up on starting the fire, climbed into my sleeping bag and said, I had my coat on and everything. I said, I'm either going to fall asleep and not wake up ever again, or I'll wake up. And I woke up.
They've all learned a valuable lesson that they now carry over to their teaching career. Don't trust anyone in the movie business. They'll get you. Hollywood will kill you.
Being able to be helpful to other people and being able to anticipate what they're gonna need.
They eventually did put me in training, so being a teacher now, it kind of taught me some of the aspects of classroom management and working with different people.
It was fun working with kids.
I learned a lot of leadership.
If you presuppose that that's something that's not going to interest somebody or they're not going to be good at it or something, you might be very wrong.
For PCHtv, I'm Grant Allen.
Working in retail does not even compare to those interesting jobs.
I feel like I know them a lot better.
In order to know students better, we asked them about what they know best, their smartphones.
Zach Perletsky and Asa Dubinsky hit the halls of Central to find out about some of the awesome apps.
Twitter.
Angry Bird.
8 Tracks.
Family Feud.
Shazam.
Facebook.
Temple Run. Temple Run 2.
Russell.
Head Soccer. Snapchat.
Errands.
Camera.
Cake.
Bike race.
Instagram.
I like the compass.
So Daniel, how long do you think you could last without using your smartphone?
What was that? Oh, anyways, smartphones are a great way to stay connected with friends.
PCHtv brings you a group of friends who stay connected through religion and athleticism.
We found out what was so great about Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
A seldomly talked about program at Parkway Central is FCA. Jordan Nathanson and I decided to take a closer look.
I've been a member of FCA since freshman year.
FCA is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it's a gathering where we go to a student's house and we have lots of food. We kind of talk about like how we get through the week and deal with like our sports and homework and stuff, and how God relates to all that, and we just get to meet friends who believe the same thing we do.
I'm a leader this year, so we get together. There's probably like 25 kids each time, and we have like, we call it food, fellowship, and fun. So we normally play some sort of sports game because we're all like athletes. We'll play volleyball or soccer, and then we'll eat a lot. And lastly, we like do some fellowship stuff where like we talk about God and like our relationship with Him and stuff.
My favorite part is the food because it's really good.
We talk about religion and sports.
We discuss the type of events and issues affecting a student athlete on campus and relate it to their faith in Christ.
It definitely like concretes what I believe in, and it allows me to like see like other kids who have the same beliefs as me and make friendships with them.
FCA truly brings athletics and religion together. PCHtv, I'm Ben Krause.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That's it for this episode of PCHtv. I'm Emma Reckenberg.
And I'm Daniel Polinsky. Look out for us, and you could be on the next episode of PCHtv.